Big Bray's Wrestling Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. If you don't know who I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with a plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some WWE Battleground 2015 today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I have to apologize. I had something to do, so I wasn't able to get Billy Ray Valentine on tonight. I know I did say that he would be on, but you know, I had to take care of some things. So I'm actually shooting this video at 2:35 in the morning on Monday morning. It is hot here in New York City, almost 90 degrees at 2:30 in the morning, high humidity. But this isn't a weather report, ladies and gentlemen. This is the WWE Battleground, well, review. So we're going to jump right into this show, and first and foremost, let me just start by saying this. I thought that this show was going to be what most people would call a throwaway pay-per-view, just something that, you know, fills the slot in before SummerSlam. It actually ended up being a very good pay-per-view, and I'm not just saying that, I'm not just putting it over. I mean, this is what I really feel watching this pay-per-view. I thought it was a well put together show, and I think it actually, and I feel that it actually helps set up a lot of the things that will occur at SummerSlam. Now, one thing I will say, there are some question marks. There are some question marks, and these question marks, we're going to talk about them towards the end of this here review. So we're going to jump into the pre-show in a match that, to be honest with you, I really didn't care about. But we had R-Truth versus King Barrett battle for the crown, and basically, you know, it was a good match. I mean, no, I wouldn't say good. It was a decent match. R-Truth is a ring general, a ring veteran. You know, King Barrett, I got to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the gimmick. I think, in my humble opinion, I think the ball was dropped with Barrett way back when he was part of the Nexus. I think he would have been a main eventer back then, but right now I don't think they know what to do with Wade Barrett. I mean, the King of the Ring should not be on the pre-show, but again, that's my opinion, and that's what we're all about here at OneWrestling.com. It's about our opinion, so please leave your opinion, leave your comments here below at YouTube, One Wrestling Video, or OneWrestling.com. I appreciate that. So now, King Barrett actually hits the bull hammer and gets the win over R-Truth. I mean, Truth, you know, tried for a roll-up, and it went back and forth during the match, but when everything was said and done, and we did do a prediction show, me and Andre Corby on the Can-Am Wrestling Show, so with this, I'm 1 for 1. I had King Barrett going over R-Truth. Next up, we had Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Now, I got to tell you something. This was wasn't necessarily strong style, but this was a hard-hitting match. It was actually a really good match. Now we're coming from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri, and of course that being the hometown of the one Viper, Randy Orton, and Randy Orton was over in this match. Now we're going to catch on to the end of the match after a bro kick from Sheamus. He drags Randy Orton in the middle of the ring, and he actually slaps on the cloverleaf, not the Texas cloverleaf, I would guess we call the Irish cloverleaf. And after kind of a really long time in that cloverleaf, Orton was able to make it to the ropes. Now Sheamus dragged him again, but when he picked him up, an RKO out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton goes over Sheamus. At this point, I am 2 for 2. Now, I did discuss this again at the Can-Am Wrestling Show, that the Money in the Bank winner has kind of a history of losing a lot of matches before that person actually cashes in and becomes the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or at the time the World Heavyweight Champion with the big gold. But I got to tell you something, man. It was a really enjoyable match. I really did get into this match. We go backstage, and we have JoJo interviewing Stephanie McMahon about the NXT Women's Revolution. Now, what was really cool is that I did, and I'm not going to go through every backstage segment, but they were really putting over the female competitors here, and I just want to quickly talk about that. Now, you know, WWE has always been mocked for their women in the ring, and I got to be honest with you, man. These young ladies coming out of NXT are a breath of fresh air. At one point in juncture, I thought that TNA had the best women wrestlers out there. I'm talking about the TNA Knockouts division, but we're talking about WWE. And I got to tell you something, with people like Sasha Banks and Ric Flair's daughter Charlotte, and so on and so forth. I mean, we can go down the line and Paige and so on and so forth. We can go down the line of just great female wrestlers coming onto television right now. I mean, these are not divas, in my opinion. These are wrestlers. I know WWE is marketing them as divas. I would love one day for Stephanie McMahon to take that divas title and retire it and bring back the women's title. I want to know your opinion. Please leave your comment here below on YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo or here at OneWrestling.com. I want to know what you guys really think, because I really and I gotta be honest with you, Charlotte Flair is the woman to take this division to the next level. Again, my opinion. I want to know yours. So we're going to jump into the World Tag Team title match, and Andre Corbeil picked the tag team champions, and I actually picked the New Day to reclaim the tag team titles. Now, this was again another very enjoyable match. Well done. A lot of good tag team maneuvers, which we don't really see nowadays in the wrestling world, but a lot of good solid tag team wrestling. Of course, you got interference outside from Xavier Woods. We had Big E and we had Kofi going at the tag team champions. Now, towards the end, we had Big E trying to go for the big ending, but Darren Young was actually able to escape. He dodges a flying Kofi Kingston and forced Big E into the ring post. Now, a lot's going on. It sounds like Pendulum, but guess what? Outside the ring, Kofi Kingston eats a gut check outside. O'Neal is inside the ring after being tagged in and hits the Clash of Titus for the win. He gets a clean pin on Big E. Now, I'm not very impressed with the primetime players. Millions of dollars. I'm not very impressed. I was rooting for this team to become the tag team champions. I see that Titus O'Neal is extremely charismatic. You know, I do like Darren Young, but the fact is that, you know, for me, they're not over as a tag team champ. They may be over as a tag team, but not as a tag team champion. And I think the New Day, man, once they turned heel, that was it. And I have no idea why these guys are not the tag team champions. But they always say that the chase is a little more fun than the actual run itself. So, you know, we're going to jump into the next match. And I want to know what you guys think about this. And we have Roman Reigns, cousin of The Rock, versus Bray Wyatt. Now, again, another good match, and a lot of people were rooting for Bray Wyatt, but then you did hear some Roman Reigns chants, and not just from the kids and women. Now, you know, we're going to catch on to the end of the match where we have Roman Reigns and he's outside the ring, and let me just make this very clear. Roman Reigns seemed to be frustrated during this match a bunch of times. I mean, Sister Abigail was hit. Wyatt did the whole crazy weird crab thing where he, well, it's kind of more like an exorcist thing where he walks on his, it's just creepy. And Bray Wyatt hit one of the baddest clotheslines I have ever seen. I'm talking about bad. This guy gave him a full-on potato right in the middle of the ring. It was really awesome. And if you don't know what a potato is, that's when they really get hit really hard, or like they say in Boston, wicked hard. But I'm from New York. Roman Reigns is throwing chairs into the ring. I guess he's kind of whatever, losing it, and this hooded man comes to the ring out of nowhere, this big hooded guy, and hits Roman Reigns with a super kick. And then Wyatt faced Roman Reigns back inside to the ring and hit Sister Abigail for the win. Now, towards the end of this little segment, we see that this hooded man is revealed as Luke Harper. Now, we do know that Luke Harper was the Intercontinental Champion, and let's be honest, it didn't really pan out the way we thought it would. I thought Luke Harper would be a star, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but the fact is that at this point in juncture, I think it's time to bring the Wyatts back and maybe even grow that family. What are you talking about? I think this should be a major faction, almost a cult in the WWE. The WWE needs a good cult. We haven't had one since CM Punk. And I think we need a new cult in the land or the WWE universe. I'm telling you, I really enjoyed this match. I thought Roman Reigns is just getting better and better every single week. His promo skills have gotten a little better, but in ring, I think the kid gives everything. I know a lot of people hate on him because he's the quote-unquote chosen one, so on and so forth. But my opinion is that Roman Reigns puts in the work. The guy has worked his way up. I mean, you know, he went through NXT. I mean, give the guy a break. I mean, that's again my opinion. And again, a lot of guys are gonna hate on him because he's good looking. So what? So what? My girl is in love with Dwayne Johnson. You think I could give a rat's you know what about what she thinks about him? Dwayne Johnson is one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. Let's not be fickle. This kid, I don't think he'll be ready this year to be the world heavyweight champion, but I think by next year, with a little help, and unfortunately, Dusty Rhodes, God rest his soul, is not around to help. But I would definitely put him with somebody like a Raven, if WWE would be interested in hiring him and bringing him. I don't know if he's working for TNA right now, but I would bring in a guy like Raven or Jake the Snake Roberts. Utilize a guy like him to teach Roman Reigns how to cut a solid promo. So many different things you can do with Roman Reigns. Now, finally, not the main event, but this is the match that WWE has been building for the last few weeks. We have, and I gotta be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be a three-way. I thought it was gonna be a 9-woman, fatal three-way? No, a 9-woman three-way dance. Let's just call it. But no, it was Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, or just Charlotte, and Brie Bella. No Nikki Bella. The Divas champion did not compete in this match, and I got to tell you something. This was a freaking great match. I don't care what anybody says. I don't want to hear for a women's match. This was just a solid match with excellent ring psychology. The funny thing is though that Brie Bella, and I say this with the utmost respect, was totally outclassed in the ring, work rate wise, by Sasha Banks and of course Charlotte Flair, who is just amazing. That woman has charisma and she is so damn good. Woo! In the ring. She did cut a backstage promo where she did that. But listen, I mean, these guys, number one, the fans in St. Louis, you guys were awesome. Anyone from St. Louis, you guys were awesome. This pay-per-view was really good because of the fans. I mean, the fans' reactions, and I mean, this match got 2 This Is Awesome chants, and I think it was all totally deserved. Now we're gonna jump into the match where we have Charlotte, and she has Brie Bella, and she hits her with a superplex, and Charlotte actually sets up. Well, she's setting up Brie Bella for a move when Sasha comes in and locks in the bank statement and that is a vicious looking, what do you call it, submission hold by Sasha Banks. Really cool, but Brie breaks that up. Well, Brie breaks it up, but she ends up in not the figure 4, but the figure 8. And the right woman goes over here, Charlotte. And I keep calling her Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte goes over, makes Brie Bella tap out. I mean, this match was full of suicide dives, interference, again, great ring psychology. I really, really, really enjoyed this match. Really, really good match. Now, I'm going to run this down really quickly. So the first match, I got right. I picked the winner there, and Wade Barrett. Second match, I picked the winner and Randy Orton. The third match, I was wrong. I thought the tag team championship would go over to the New Day, but the primetime players retained. So Andre Corbett, you get that one. I did pick Bray Wyatt to go over Roman Reigns, finally getting that big pay-per-view win. Not really clean, but it is what it is. He goes over, so I'm doing pretty good so far. And I really didn't. I think I mentioned that Charlotte Flair's team would go over, so technically I was right. So so far I got one wrong. Now, speaking about getting one wrong, this is one that I got really freaking wrong. And we have John Cena versus Kevin Owens for the United States title. Now, I swear on everything I love that I honestly thought that when Kevin Owens dropped the NXT title to Finn Balor, he was going to take the U.S. title. And this was a classic match. Again, I mean, it was just great. I mean, these guys were kicking out of each other's finishers. You got a 300-pound guy going to the top rope, hitting a swanton bomb. Well, actually, I mean, you got Cena with the STF. You got Kevin Owens putting on the STF, almost making Cena tap. But damn it, I'm a fan of John Cena. But I just think that this was the right guy. Now just let me preface by saying that Cena actually wins this match and he makes Kevin Owens tap out to the STF. And I was not happy. And I know out there, if you listen to the PW Hustle podcast, somewhere in a project far, far away, A-Track Brown is cursing and kicking his television. Yes, the Pharaoh Fancy himself on Twitter is extremely upset. And I don't freaking blame him. I mean, John Cena should not have won this match. Kevin Owens was the right guy at the right time. And unless they're going to give Kevin Owens a fourth shot at that U.S. title, I just don't see why they would do this. I have no idea why they would put Kevin Owens over here. I mean, I'm John Cena over in this match. But John Cena, and then you're making Kevin Owens just one of the baddest dudes on the planet, or at least in the ring, tap out to John Cena. Shouldn't have happened. In my opinion, poor booking, and I think it was Kevin Owens' time to hold that U.S. title. But maybe the WWE has bigger plans, but you can't go bigger if you kind of bury Kevin Owens. And I'm a big John Cena fan, but this was not the right time to do this. So, again, my opinion, guys, I want to hear what your opinion is on this match. Again, 5-star match. For me, I think it was an excellent, excellent match. It had everything except the right winner. We're going to move on, and we have The Miz, who comes to the ring. And this was basically a throwaway. Now, we do know that Ryback has a staph infection. At Ryback22, I believe, on Twitter, he came out and stated that he had a staph infection. So first and foremost, I'm going to wish Ryback the best of luck in recovery. I wish him well. I'm sure Ryback will come back bigger and just jacked. Ryback is one of my faves, and I love him as Intercontinental Champion. And he seems like he really appreciates that Intercontinental Championship. Now, I thought that they would go with Miz versus Big Show, and kind of they did, but not. And the Miz comes out and tells St. Louis to shut up, stop talking, so on and so forth. Big Show comes out and basically knocks the Miz out. So that was that segment. It was just a little filler. We didn't get our Intercontinental Championship match, but I do believe that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get some new contenders for the Intercontinental Championship. I think Big Show may fade to the background. I would like to see guys like Adrian Neville, maybe Stardust, or, how about Kevin Owens as the Intercontinental Champion. That might work. Leave your opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. Anyway, so now we have, we have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Now, I gotta tell you something. The rumors were out there, and I gotta be honest. I knew the Undertaker was gonna be there. Wait, you don't know what happened? Well, Brock Lesnar basically dominated this match. We had Seth Rollins, who you know put in the good effort as the champion. I think he's been billed and booked as one of the weakest and I guess scariest or scared, not scariest because he's not scary. Brock Lesnar's the scariest, but probably like the weakest champion I've ever seen. But this guy really sold. He took 13 German suplexes from the beast Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman is outside straightening his tie, and he's gloating, and he's counting 5, 6, 7 up to 13. Finally, Brock Lesnar gets Seth Rollins up, hits him with the big F5. Now, Bill Apter gave me a call, and he did state that he felt that there would be some type of interference in this match, and that Seth Rollins would win or would retain the title, but not necessarily win. Well, I guess technically Brock Lesnar wins the match via DQ, and Seth Rollins continues to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But as the F5 was hit, and as the count goes to 1, it went to 2, and it started to, the light turns out, gong, and the Undertaker appears in the middle of the ring, attacking Brock Lesnar, hitting him with a series of choke slams and tombstone pile drivers. The Undertaker is back, and I gotta tell you, the Undertaker looks strong. He looked thick. He didn't look like that skinny, weak Undertaker, with all due respect, that we saw at WrestleMania. No. This was the dead man. This was the American badass. This is probably one of the biggest icons of professional wrestling. And he humbled Brock Lesnar. So now what does this mean? Will it be Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker at SummerSlam? And I know you're interested to know what I think if this match does occur, which I do believe it will. Who goes over? Who benefits from going over? I mean, I doubt that this is The Undertaker's very last match. I'm not hearing anything about that. But will The Undertaker lose a second match to Brock Lesnar? And if he does, how much would that elevate Brock Lesnar even more than what he is now? Or will they go for a rubber match at WrestleMania and that be his last match? Because you know that The Undertaker has a ton of respect for Brock Lesnar. And unfortunately, fans, I do not think we will ever see Taker Sting. I'll take another Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, a healthy Undertaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Big Ray's Wrestling Show. This has been my review of WWE Battleground 2015. Today it is almost 3 o'clock in the morning here in New York City, almost 90 degrees outside. It is hot, and what is hot is SummerSlam, and that is just around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us here at onewrestling.com, on YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Follow us on Twitter at OneWrestling. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. Follow the legendary Bill Apter at Apter1Wrestling. My Can-Am brother from the North, Andre Corbeil at Andre_Corbeil. And of course, our WWE correspondent, Billy Ray Valentine at Billy Ray Hustle. And of course, we cannot forget the man who does old school, the man who takes us back in the day, and the man who is the NXT reporter for OneWrestling.com, Bill Schuyler. Yes, you can follow him at You Got The Show, DA, You Got The Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this every single time I do a video. I would do this for a living. But if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because for almost 5 years here at OneWrestling.com, I just love talking wrestling. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you. Peace.